എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗുകാർക്ക് എൻട്രിയിൽ ടെക്നിക്കൽ കോഴ്സുകളുമുണ്ട്.
രോഗത്തെ അറിയുന്ന ഡോക്ടറാകാൻ നിങ്ങൾ തയ്യാറാണോ? ഉടൻ തന്നെ ജോയിൻ ചെയ്യൂ ശാന്തിഗിരി മെഡിക്കൽ കോളേജ്.
I myself didn't know KGF would be KGF that it is today. Being a part, being directed by Prashant sir and starring opposite Yash sir was like something. It was too hard to believe. Absolutely no clue about acting. Trust me. All that he said was, show me one look. Show me the anger. So I started scratching my head and I said, how to give anger look? How do I do it? I said, I'll try. And I had my eyes wide open. I had my nose wide open. So then he said, what are you doing, sir? He said, this is not anger. I was like this and like this and like this, like this. So he said, we are inside the office. Is there too much of sun over your head? That is like when there's too much of sunlight and sun falling on your eyes, that is how someone reacts. The best part of Yash sir is he wants you to look very good. He always thinks on your behalf as well. He wants you to perform well.
You do share the screen space with Sanjay.
I have a scene with Sanjay Dutt sir and I was like, God, this is something like, I've always adored him right from my school days. And, when I first saw him, my jaws dropped and I had to use both my hands to put it back again. Prashant sir knows that I'm an emotional person and he knows I'm a very big fan of Sanjay Dutt sir as well. He came up and he said, sir, I've told a lot about all of y'all. I've told them that my actors are all very good. So you please maintain it. You don't go to him and hug him and say, I'm your fan and all those things. And I looked around, I didn't see anyone. So I said, I can't hold myself. I went and held him and I said, sir, it's such an honor to be sharing screen space with you. I'm such a big fan of you.
I have a very interesting person today with me. And I don't know how to introduce this human being. Should I be naming him as Andrew or AKA BS Avinash? I have no idea because everybody recognizes him only as Andrews from KGF. Hello, Avinash. Welcome to Behindwoods.
Namaskaram. Thank you so much. You could go ahead and call me Andrews Avinash. Both the names would come in together.
Are you planning to actually change your name that way?
The day I joined KGF, it was changed. So I would love to live with it.
So how is your new life?
It's splendid. It started a little earlier as well, but after the chapter 2, it's grown exponentially larger, and I've been living this dream. It's like I still feel that I'm dreaming, and I really don't want to wake up from it.
He's not getting words to say.
Seriously.
And I'm sure you must have been stuck with words because you've been giving so many interviews. A lot of people have, I think after KGF 2 recognized you a lot more. Your part in KGF 2 is a lot bigger than the part 1.
Yeah, I travel a little more than the part 1, of course, yes.
Yes. So you are a businessman turned actor, right? At the age of 48, right? When you started off.
No, I'm 48 now. When I started off, it was 7 years earlier. So
yeah,
I was 41 when I started.
In your early 40s is when you decided to become an actor and it just happened to you. So
that's when I rather gathered a little courage to say that I would like to be an actor.
How did that happen from businessman to an actor?
I've grown up watching movies and I've always been fascinated with the characters on screen, and I've always liked the negative characters, which was more promising because the stronger or the more powerful a negative character is, there is more scope for heroism. So you get the piece of cake as well in showing the heroism of the protagonist. So I've always wanted that, but then maybe after 40, I was a little hesitant and I didn't know how to ask anyone because I have absolutely no clue about acting. Trust me. I've never got onto a stage in school or college, and I had zero knowledge. And when they say when all the stars align, such magic happens. So I was lucky that everything fell in place for me.
No, for a person who says, I've never faced the camera or never got onto a stage or done anything to be in the limelight, your entry in KGF is like bang on. And you
Yes.
see that, who is this actor? Who is this guy?
Yes.
Because it's one thing, the style that you have carried in it, it just somehow it just feels that you are basically a very stylish person in your real life. Are you?
I don't know. I mean, quite a few say that, but yeah, I've probably today I can, very proudly say I have been able to live the vision of the director. So when somebody says that, it's, you feel so happy about it. Because as you
You
said,
are very stylish. The kind of tattoos that you have is like, wow.
thank you so much.
And I know about that one photo shoot that went viral, and finally Prashant was like, you know what? This is the guy I need.
Yes,
How
yes. I mean,
how did you end up doing that photo shoot? Like, how did all of this happen to you?
a very good friend of mine called Chiranjeevi Sarja is no more today, but he was a very promising hero and
Great
who
actor.
happened to be an extremely good friend of mine.
Oh.
And one evening when we were sitting together, I somehow gathered the courage and I told him that I would like to get into movies. I want to act. And I was expecting a huge, laughter or something like that. And to my surprise, he actually took it in a very nice way. And he said, of course, sir, it is very good. I mean, you have the looks and why don't you give it a try? And then he introduced me to Panaga Barana, sir, who actually did a little bit of molding in the initial stages. And then he introduced me to Bhuvan Gowda, a cinematographer. I always call him Sweetie. So the very first time we met, he agreed to do the photo shoot. And then the very first time we met, I don't know, that spark like ignited and we gelled very well. So the photo shoot came extremely well in 2015 when we did. It came out 2014. Yeah, 2014 when we did, it came out extremely well. And then he said he's going to start a movie called KGF. He's going to be the cinematographer for a movie called KGF being directed by Prashant sir.
Oh.
He said, I'll show him your pictures. Let's see if the director likes. And then Prashant sir saw, and then I was invited to meet him. And then he didn't say anything about it. He said, you start growing your hair. Don't cut your beard, just grow it. And they were changing offices that time. So he said, we'll give you a call again. And he said, stop nodding your head so many times, sir, and stop grinning, because this movie is not going to be all about that. So just grow your hair, stop nodding, stop grinning. I'll call you again and we'll take it up from there. And then it was about 5, 6, 7 months and no calls. I was like so eager. I would kill Sweetie every other day, asking him, there's no calls which are coming. What do I do? What's happening? Didn't they like me? So he was tired. He said, he calls me Gurugade. I mean, he said, patience, Gurugade, they are shifting office. I'm sure they'll call you. And then in October 2015, I get that call. And the associate said, you'll have to come tomorrow at 10 o'clock. It was on a Monday, and I think 9 o'clock or something, they called me.
What were you doing when you got the call?
I don't know. I think I was in the club because I'm a club contractor. I think I was in between business. So I got a call. I took off that day and I started.
I'm not coming back to work. Bye.
And I have to tell you this, the best part was I was called at 9 o'clock and I'm a person who follows Raukala very much, the auspicious time. So Monday, when they called me, it was that time. And I told the associate, is it possible if I can come in by 10:30 types? And he said, it's absolutely fine, sir. Why would you want to come a little late. So I told him, this is the thing. Then he laughed and he said, sir, it's okay, you've told me, but make sure you don't tell this to Prashant, sir. Because if you tell him, he's going to make sure that you come at that time itself. So yeah, I mean, I started off very early, but then I had parked my car somewhere near the office. After 1 minute after that Rao column got over, I entered the office and I met Prashant sir. He made me sit and he didn't talk about anything. He spoke about my business and how have I been and all these things. And then he said, we will train you. You say you're a businessman, but you'll have to attend workshop every single day. How are you going to cope up? So I said, sir, I will come no matter what. I'll be there on time and I would love to. And I was just hoping that there's no audition that day because I knew for a fact if there was an audition, I knew I'm not going to go past it. So, and yeah, and all that he said was, show me one look. I mean, show me the anger. So I started scratching my head and I said, how to give anger look? I mean, how do I do it? So I said, I'll try. And I had my eyes wide open. I had my nose wide open. My teeth, my jaw was tight and I was shaking. So then he said, what are you doing, sir? So I said, I'm showing you the anger. He said, this is not anger. Please. Then he said, so it was, I mean, I was so naive. And then he said, you just have to squeeze in your eyebrows and give that intense look. Then
Okay, let's
I tried
right now.
I'll tell you what I showed it to him. I mean, what I showed him, but I was like this and like this and like this, like this, like this. So he said, sir, we are inside the office. Is there too much of sun over your head? That is like when there's too much of sunlight and sun falling on your eyes, that is how someone reacts. So yeah, from then, that was beautiful. And from then he said, you don't have to worry. I know how good you are, rather how bad you are. We will start off. It might take 1 month, 2 months, 1 year, 6 months. So you don't have to worry. Just keep coming regularly. I'll see to it that you'll be fine.
That from Avinash, you become Andrews.
Yeah, I mean, I said all this because I wanted to emphasize on the fact that I had no clue about acting. And, you know, I was so nervous. When they gave me a few lines, just to read it and say it out once was like, you know, achievement for me. From there, and if there was somebody else looking at me, I could not. And from that type, they've molded me. And with 1,000 people on the set, and when there are so many cameras on me, you know, this is what is made out of me. So I'm so indebted, and it's beautiful.
Oh, you know, I can see your eyes almost water by the time you finish. The excitement of actually achieving something like that, it's, at a point of life, you are very much visible on your face.
Thank you so much.
No, see, that particular scene you start, I think, which is the very first scene you shot, even if it's KGF Chapter 1. I mean, that is your first debut movie. That's where you start off everything. So which is the very first scene that you did?
The very first time I faced camera for KGF was my introduction scene. And trust me, in the workshop, a minimum of 100 to 200 times we've practiced that scene. And I've always practiced it with the rosary on my right hand.
Okay.
And then we go to the set, and then it's just that I never used to get down from the car in the office, but everything else, your walk and somebody else standing in front of you, all that, the whole process was practiced a lot of times.
Yeah.
So at the shot, Prashant sir comes up and again he explains it. And he says, sir, you have to hold the it was a new rosary I got on the set, smaller one, classier one. So he said, you roll it on your left arm. So I was like, oh my God, all these days it was right. I practiced the left arm. I was so tense the whole night. And then I went about doing. He said, is it very difficult? You don't want to do it? I said, no, sir, I will do it. It's fine. And then we had on the left hand. Then, you know, the car has to stop. And when the door opens, your hand has to come out and you should make sure that the rosary, the right end, is shown to the camera and well balanced. So you
Oh,
can't let it fall haywire and that side, this
Yeah.
side. So you need to have your balance in place. So I managed. That my face was not seen when my hand comes out. So my whole body was looking at the rosary and making sure that it lands properly. And then that was okay. Then I said like, great, hurrah. And then my lip comes out.
done it for sure.
First shot, and then I look at the character called Shetty, and I say Rocky, and I walk up.
Yeah.
I take about 15-20 steps towards Yash sir, and Yash sir is standing in front of me. Yash sir is standing in front of me. So I had to walk up, and that 15 steps would never end. It was like there was multiple emotions running around, and I was like, I should get this right. And this rain pouring, and it's all sluggy down. And I had to make sure that I don't put my shoes or place my feet on all those things and splash it all over me. So the walk has to be right and you go properly. And I was like, will I get it right? Was it this? My dialogues are okay. All these things are going, and then I have to stop at the right place. I was like, will I stop at the right place? Will I go bang Yash sir, or will I go this side? So with all these emotions, I walked. There were so many people. I was just not bothered about who's looking at me. And that scene came out very well. And Prashant sir, if he says a shot okay, then it has to be very good. And then, so yeah, I mean, it was very nice. And Yash sir was very supportive and beautiful. Yeah, that was my first experience.
Yeah, I've heard that he's a very supportive actor to, even to the junior actors or whoever it is in the set. He's a very, very kind person to everyone.
He's extremely good. The best part of Yash sir is he wants you to look very good. I mean, he's so much, he's worried. I mean, he always thinks on your behalf as well. And he wants you to look nice. He wants you to perform well. And he makes sure that all of us, grow alongside him. It's not like, that's a wonderful character of his that I have noticed personally. And be it on set or outside, he's always encouraging. He's always talking the best and, keeping you in a very high spirits. Even the introduction shot when the camera was facing me and he was in the suggestion shot. He needn't have given me his complete expression, but he gives it so well. When in fact I went up and I asked sir, I said, sir, the camera was not facing, you were not facing the camera, but you gave me the best. So he said, I want you to carry your mood, because if I don't do it properly, maybe you would not. So I want you to do well as well. So that is the least I can do. And it was amazing. I mean, somebody of his, and you have Prashant sir, from there cheering you up and saying, sir, very, very good. And you have Bhuvan who's rounding up and he's saying, very nice. It's beautiful. It's just too very blessed to be a part of this.
Yes, that's true. I think everybody who's been a part of KGF, from the crew members to actors to the junior artists, everybody would be saying that this was a once in a lifetime chance that they got.
Definitely. I mean, they are, as I've always said, there's so many hundreds of artists who are extremely good. I mean, they are so wonderful. They are wonderful artists. And in spite of being in the industry for quite a lot of years, somewhere that recognition is not achieved. I mean, you don't get that kind of a recognition. And with your first movie, without knowing basics, you are groomed, and the whole your state, not only your state, across India, you have so many people who are actually blessing you, and they are encouraging you, and they're recognizing you. And now it's worldwide. What more can somebody ask for?
I know, it was like that role was just meant for you. It just feels like you were not supposed to be an actor before the age of 40.
I would love to believe so. Thank you so much.
Okay, when you got this call, and I'm pretty sure you came back home and then you told your wife that this has happened to you, right?
this call in the sense as
The first time Prashant sir called back and said, okay, come in. You're getting prepared for the movie.
I didn't wait for me to come home. I called her. Who has that kind of patience when you get a call from, So I made sure that I told half the world, every single person I knew, I made sure that I told them. I've got a call, I'm going tomorrow.
So your wife knows that you wanted to become an actor? I mean, did she know that you had this passion in you?
To be very frank, even she didn't till maybe, a little later stage. Again, I have a wonderful family and they have always been extremely supportive with whatever decision that I have to make. So yeah, it's good.
What was her reaction when you told that you're going to be opposite Yash sir as the main villain?
She was super excited. I mean, my son, my wife, my mother, they were all super excited. But at that point of time, none of them, or rather I myself, didn't know KGF would be KGF that it is today. But but then KGF, and we all loved Prashant sir's Ugram, his first movie. So being a part, being directed by Prashant sir and starring opposite Yash sir was like something. It was too hard to believe, too hard for it to be true, too good to be true.
You have a really big screen space in KGF 2, and you do share the screen space with Sanjay.
Yes, yeah, I know. That's something like when we actually got to know that Sanjay Dutt sir is on board for KGF, that was super exciting for all of us. And then as the days passed by and when we're nearing shoot, I get to know that I have a scene with Sanjay Dutt sir, and I was like, God, this is something like, I mean, I've always adored him right from my school days. I have always, right from his Rocky, when he was Rocky in his first movie. From those days, I've always liked him, and especially after Vastav, it was like,
oh, that was great move. Great move.
And it was like too much for me to accept. It was super exciting. So it was like amazing. It was like something. I mean, I didn't know prayers could be answered. I didn't even pray. I mean, because I didn't even know that you could ask for something like this. It was.
I think amongst all of them, you are somebody who's come into that screen space for the entire both the movies with no acting backgrounds, no film backgrounds, nothing of that sort. So
no, we are quite a few in the same we in the same bus, because in the first part, the main antagonist Garuda Ram, the character Garuda Ram, and his brother Virat character was played by Vinay, and the heroine's father Rajendra Desai. That character was played by Lucky sir, and Inayat Khalil is Balkrishna sir.
Yes.
So all of us were new, and we were all trained together.
No, I mean all the new people were the villains. Like, all the villains were like new people.
Yes.
No villains for the film industry.
Seriously, yes.
No, which was the very first. I mean, how was it meeting Sanjay sir? You met him outside the set or in the set or while shooting? Like Prashant is telling you that, oh, you know what, tomorrow morning you're shooting with Sanjay. What was the...
I went to Hyderabad for the schedule, and the following day was my shoot with Sanjay Dutt sir, which I was aware.
Did you sleep previous night?
Sort of, very disturbed sleep. And when I first saw him, when I went the previous day, I saw him getting out of the caravan, and my jaws dropped, and I had to use both my hands to put it back again. He was so good. And then I was introduced to him by Likita ma'am, Prashant sir's wife.
Yeah.
And he said, hello, sir. And he walked in for a shot, and we left. And the following day, the previous day I was given the scene, and Prashant sir knows that I'm an emotional person, and he knows I'm a very big fan of Sanjay Dutt sir as well. So he came up and he said, sir, I've told a lot about all of y'all. I've told them that my actors are all very good. So you please maintain it. You don't go to him and hug him and say, I'm your fan and all those things. So please stick to the job on hand. I said, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. And my lines were told. And then we had a small, Sanjay Dutt sir came. He got down from the jeep and he walked up. And that was not the take. He just walked up and then to hear the scene.
Yeah.
And I was just looking at him. I was just looking at him and like this, I was just going on looking at him. And then Prashant sir told him, this is the scene, sir. You walk down, he's here. And then he gives his lines, to which you react like this. So he said, sir, you tell me, now please tell him your lines. I was like, sir, he said, go ahead, tell him, say your lines. I was like, just nothing would come out. I mean, I knew those lines right. I was so much inside me, but nothing came out at that point of time. So then Prashant sir said, he's a little overwhelmed. It's okay. And the beauty was Sanjay Dutt sir gives a hug and he says, sir, it's fine. Let's do it. And then, okay, I was like, fine. And he comes and I take my lines. I take my lines. I say, and if you dig here, you reach there. And that's the lines. And the shot was okay. It came out well. Prashant sir said, shot okay. And I still had the mic in me. I mean, I had the lapel mic on me. I didn't realize that I still have it. And I saw Prashant sir was there. He said, shot okay.
Yeah.
And Sanjay Dutt sir was still standing next to me. And I looked around. I didn't see anyone. So I said, I can't hold myself. I went and I held him and I said, sir, it's such an honor to be sharing screen space with you. I'm such a big fan of you. That happened and I had no clue whatsoever. And that conversation, we were all standing because they had to set it up elsewhere. And I don't know, the blue, someone from behind comes and hugs me and I hear a voice saying that, sir, what, sir, I like you so much, sir. And it's Prashant sir teasing me. I was, oh my God, what is this? He said, yeah, what, sir? How many times I've told you?
I could not control myself.
God, that was so embarrassing and so much fun that day.
But I'm sure Sanjay that actually going through his treatment when he was shooting for this particular movie. So that you got to give him the courage to come back and do such an amazing, powerful role,
Very true, especially, the shot that I was telling you, there was nothing diagnosed and he was fine. But then when we were shooting the climax, sir was diagnosed and he was under treatment and he was supposed to come and what I heard was, in fact, they offered him to do that scene on the green mat or something else. And he refused. He said, nothing doing. I'm going to come. And later on, you should only see to believe because the set was so huge, the climax part, it was huge and so much of dust, so much of smoke, so much of fire, so many people. And not once did, the whole action scene, it was done by Sanjay Dutt sir itself. And he refused. He in fact said that, no, you're not going to compromise on the quality. Don't reduce the dust, add more dust, put more fire, more smoke, do what you all want. Because, I'm fine. If you all try to sympathize with me, that's where, that is going to be worse than the cancer itself or something like that. So he was so amazing. And the whole part, because I was there during the climax and the whole part, Yash sir did it on him, what his parts Yash sir did, and Sanjay Dutt sir's action, Sanjay Dutt sir did. Everything, falling, fight, every single thing in that dust. Wow. He is a tiger. He's a lion.
It was wonderful. I'm so lucky that I got the chance to actually have you over at my chat show here for the Malayali Prekshakar here in Kerala. I am so grateful that you actually made time for me. This was wonderful talking to you. And trust me, now I am a big fan of yours. Okay? Since
my God.
KGF. Like, I have to say this out loud.
Thank you. It's an absolute honor, and I'm so grateful. You know, you have given me the opportunity to reach out to the people in Kerala, because I wouldn't have without your medium. So I am extremely honored, and I feel extremely humbled as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Avinash. I hope you have a wonderful film career as you go forward.
Thank you very much.
എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗുകാർക്ക് എൻട്രിയിൽ ടെക്നിക്കൽ കോഴ്സുകളുമുണ്ട്.
രോഗത്തെ അറിയുന്ന ഡോക്ടറാകാൻ നിങ്ങൾ തയ്യാറാണോ? ഉടൻ തന്നെ ജോയിൻ ചെയ്യൂ ശാന്തിഗിരി മെഡിക്കൽ കോളേജ്.